Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Lost Ark build video. Today we're going to be talking about Sharpshooter, which has quickly become one of my favorite classes. At this point, you can just call me a Gunner Andy because 3 of my mains are gunners. Anyway, we're going to be covering every single build, including the Loyal Companion build, Death Strike, and the combination of both class engravings, as well as the gear, tripods, and stats, everything like that you need to know in order to have the best Sharpshooter possible. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Also, before we continue, I just want to remind you guys that I have been streaming on Twitch quite often, so be sure to follow me on there. There is a link to my Twitch in the description of every single one of my videos. So if you have any questions relating to the build, you can of course leave a comment below this video, but you can also come by the stream and ask me live, and I'd be happy to give you an explanation or showcase for any concerns you might have. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys that if you are having trouble finding people to play with and run Vulcan or Vulcan hard, then I'm here to tell you that Blazing Boost has the answer. Blazing Boost offers a variety of services where you can play with pros, so you don't have to risk getting scammed out of a bus run for Vulcan or Argos, and there's no account sharing required. And with over 24,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, you know you're getting the best service possible. Also, for viewers of this channel, you can use code SODA5 at checkout for 5% off of your next order. So go ahead and check out Blazing Boost via the link in my description, and thanks to them again for sponsoring this video. Now that we have all those things out of the way, let's start with the builds, and I'm going to be starting with Loyal Companion because this is probably the easiest build to play on Sharpshooter. It's also the cheapest to set up. You can use this pretty much right out of the gate at tier 1, and you can use it all the way up to tier 3, including Argos, so don't be intimidated by this giant wall of text. Essentially, the important thing you need to know about this class engraving is that it essentially doubles the duration of your bird summon, and at level 3, it gives you 8% more move speed and 10% attack power, and enemies hit by the Hawk's basic attacks or the Z ability take 14% more damage. Your stats for this build, there's going to be mainly Swift with a crit substat, so that means you want a crit Swift neck and Swift on the rest of your accessories. For your skills, you're going to want Atomic Arrow with amplified damage and enhanced arrowhead for your synergy skill, Sharpshooter, which I don't know why they named this ability that way, but you want Sharpshooter with Vital Point Hit, Weak Point Detection, and Focus Shot, Arrow Wave with Enhanced Arrow, Slow Tide, and Wave Streak, Deadly Slash with Silver Master, Sawtooth Blade, and Double Slash, Moving Slash with Excellent Mobility and Silver Master, Snipe with Quick Prep, Weak Point Detection, and Easy Prey, Charge Shot with Quick Prep, Double Shot, and Fast Fire, and Arrow Shower with Swift Fingers, Sustain Enhancement, and Piercing Arrow. Out of all of those abilities, the most important tripods that you need are Silver Master for both Deadly Slash and Moving Slash, and the reason why I recommend these tripods even on Loyal Companion is because you might need to use your Hawk multiple times in a fight, especially long fights like Argos, Vulcan, etc. So you need a way to generate your meter since you're not really building spec and you're not using Blade Storm either. Plus, if you ever want to transition into a Death Strike or a Loyal Companion plus Death Strike build, you will need these tripods anyway, so they are a worthwhile investment that you will always have benefit from. Another set of tripods that you're always going to benefit from is Quick Prep, Weak Point Detection, and Easy Prey on Snipe, Vital Point Hit on Sharpshooter, and Enhanced Arrow on Arrow Wave. All of these are super important because you do not have that much crit on Loyal Companion, so most of the crit also comes from a combination of your tripods. As for your awakening, you can use either one, Fenrir or Goldeneye. Fenrir recently got buffed so where you get your gauge back instantly, so you could actually save this to use it either at the beginning of the fight to get your Hawk straight away, or if you randomly die or you need another summon, then you can use this to basically get your full meter and keep the fight going. Otherwise, if you want just a consistent and well-rounded damage awakening, you can just use Goldeneye. Goldeneye can do no wrong. For your runes, you're going to want Gale Wind on Snipe, Charge Shot, and Arrow Wave, Wealth on Deadly Slash and Moving Slash, Rage on Atomic Arrow, Overwhelm on Sharpshooter, and either Quick Recharge or Bleed on Arrow Shower. As for your gems, you're going to want a Damage and CDR gem for Snipe, Charge Shot, Arrow Wave, Sharpshooter, and your Silver Hawk skills, and a Damage gem for Arrow Shower. For your engravings, at first you're going to want Loyal Companion 3 and Adrenaline 1. Later on, with Legendary accessories, you're going to want Grudge 3, Hitmaster 3, Loyal Companion 3, and Adrenaline 1. And finally, at Relic accessories, you're going to want Loyal Companion, Companion, Grudge, Hitmaster, Keen Blunt, and Raid Captain. You could also swap Raid Captain for Cursed Doll if that is your preference. Engravings beyond 5-3, you should almost always aim to have one level of adrenaline, and this goes for every single build in this video. However, you can only get a level of adrenaline if you have double legendary books or a 9-7 stone, a crazy stone like that. But the point is, always try to look out for a way to add adrenaline 1 into your build once you're past relic accessories. Once ancient relic accessories come out, it's actually quite easy to get an extra level of adrenaline, but as of right now, it's a little bit difficult. Just keep it in mind. For your gear, you're going to want 5-piece preordained at 1370. Then at 1415, you're going to want to swap to 4-piece Demon Beast and 2-piece preordained. At 1445, you're going to want to use 2-piece Salvation, 2-piece Nightmare, and 2-piece preordained, which is the current content in the game as of the release of this video. And then finally at 1460, your full set will be 6-piece Hallucination. For your cards, early on, you're going to want Lost Wind Cliff, and later on, you're going to want Light of Salvation. And this goes for every single build in this video. Moving on to Death Strike, this is the burst class engraving. This is usually what people swap to once they reach that 1370 mark. What Death Strike does is that whenever you use Last Rush for your bird, it marks the enemy and they take 44% more damage for 8 seconds. So it gives you an 8-second window to dump all of your skills onto the enemy and do a crap load of damage. Then you have some downtime waiting on the cooldowns for your abilities, and you should be able to regenerate the meter by the time they come back up. Your stats for a Death Strike build are going to be mainly crit, then some spec and swiftness. Ideally 1300 crit, 500 swiftness, and 200 spec. If you have high level tripods for Bladestorm and Deadly Slash, the Silver Master tripods, you can pull off the 200 spec that I'm showing here. But if you don't have them at level 3 or 4, you're gonna want to swap around to 400 or so spec and then just have the 200 swiftness left over. For your skills, you're actually going to be using the exact same skills and tripods as Loyal Companion. However, we're going to replace Arrow Shower with Bladestorm, and the tripods for Bladestorm are Silver Master, Lightning Blade, and Blade Dance. The most important tripods for this build are once again Silver Master for Deadly Slash and Bladestorm this time instead of Moving Slash, Quick Preg, Weak Point, and Easy Prey for Snipe, Vital Point Hit for Sharpshooter, and Enhanced Arrow for Arrow Wave. For your Awakening, you're only gonna really want to use Goldeneye since the main bottleneck for your DPS is going to be your ability cooldowns. So using Fenrir for the meter gain is kind of wasted because the meter gain isn't really the issue. It's waiting for cooldowns. For your runes, you're going to want Wealth on Bladestorm, Moving Slash, and Deadly Slash, Gale Wind on Snipe, Charge Shot, and Arrow Wave, Overwhelm on Sharpshooter, and then either Bleed or Quick Recharge or Rage on Atomic Arrow. It's completely up to you. For your gems, you're going to want a damage and CDR gem for Snipe, Arrow Wave, Bladestorm, and Sharpshooter, a damage gem on Silver Hawk and Charge Shot, and a CDR gem for Deadly Slash. For your engravings, at first you're going to want Death Strike 3 and Adrenaline 1. Then with legendary accessories, you're going to want Death Strike 3, Grudge 3, Hitmaster 3, and Adrenaline 1. And finally, your 5-3 engraving should be Death Strike, Grudge, Hitmaster, Keen Blunt, and Cursed Doll. And like I said, try to get that extra level of adrenaline if you can snipe a really good stone, or once you move on to having multiple legendary engraving books. For your gear set, the progression is exactly the same: 1370 5-piece preordained, Demon Beast 4-piece and 2-piece preordained at 1415, 2-piece Salvation, 2-piece Nightmare, 2-piece preordained at 1445. However, your final set at 1460 is going to be 6-piece Nightmare instead. And finally, we're going to talk about the double class engraving build, which is Death Strike plus Loyal Companion. The stats for this build are going to be a 50-50 split between crit and spec. However, as you move on to higher tier accessories, you only need 1000 spec for this build. You can even make do with 900 spec. So ideally, get to 1000 spec and then dump the rest into crit. As for your skills on this build, we're going to be using the exact same skills and tripods as the Death Strike build, except we're going to replace Blade Dance with Shadow Dance on the last tripod on Bladestorm. Speaking of tripods, the most important tripods for this build remain exactly the same. For your Awakening, you're going to want to use Fenrir in this build because the insta regen of your Hawk meter actually makes the double Death Strike plus Loyal Companion combo possible, and it is insane. As for your runes, you're going to want Wealth on Bladestorm and Moving Slash, as well as Deadly Slash, Gale Wind on Snipe, Charge Shot, and Arrow Wave, Overwhelm on Sharpshooter, and then either Rage, Bleed, or Quick Recharge on Atomic Arrow once again. For your gems, these are going to be exactly the same as the Death Strike build, which is Snipe, Snipe, Arrow Wave, Blade Storm, and Sharpshooter, damage on your Silverhawk skill and Charge Shot, and a CDR gem for Deadly Slash. For your engravings, you're going to want Death Strike 3 and Loyal Companion 1 at first. Then in Legendary Accessory, you're going to move on to Death Strike 3, Grudge 3, Hitmaster 3, and Loyal Companion 1. And finally, your 5x3 engraving setup should be Death Strike, Loyal Companion, Grudge, Hitmaster, and Keen Blunt. I included the 3-1 and 3-3-3-1 setup for your engravings, but I really do not recommend going this build until you are 14-15. Speaking of which, your gear set progression again is exactly the same. However, at 1460, you're going to want to go for 6-piece Salvation instead. Now, the last thing I want to cover is a build for Chaos Dungeons, and this class is one of the most satisfying classes to run Chaos Dungeons with, honestly. For Chaos Dungeons, you're going to want to run Rapid Shot with Amplified Damage, Double Shot, and Final Strike, Claymore Mine with Swift Fingers, Thunderbolt, and Storm Surge, Arrow Wave with Enhanced Arrow, Giant Whirlwind, and Wave Streak, Salvo with Law of the Jungle, Arrow Blanket, and Focus Fire, Moving Slash with Ignore Collision, Blade Storm with Silvermaster, Lightning Blade, and Blade Dance, Snipe with Quick Prep, Weak Point Detection, and Easy Prey, and finally Charge Shot with Quick Prep, Double Shot, and Fast Fire. And well, that's about it, guys. That is my Sharpshooter guide. I hope that you guys found this video useful. I've gotten a ton of requests for this video. So to all those people, I really hope that this helps and maybe clears up your ideas for how you need to build your Sharpshooter. We literally only have one class left, which is Soul Fist. So I hope to get that build out by the end of this week or early next week. It all depends. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys would like to see next, what type of videos besides builds, maybe some revisions of old builds. Let me know in the comment section. Like I said, be sure to check out my Twitch. I've been streaming a lot more often, so that would be awesome. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.